女士们、先生们，欢迎来到李世锋茶谈录。Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a Tea with Li. Today, with great honor and pleasure, we have Emmanuel Renpyao Ling from Switzerland to share with us his story on martial arts and also as a fighter, how he dives into martial arts and diving into this fighting industry. Okay, please, Master Emmanuel, how and why you are so into martial arts?
Okay, 大家好. Hi everybody. So yeah, I started really young as a kid. I was think 8 years old or something. My parents, they just put me in a judo club because I had too much energy. So yeah, I was a little bit troublesome. I had just too much energy, so they just put me in the judo club. And then yeah, I went every day to the gym and just training, and then I behaved. Yeah, I just had too much energy, and I never stopped actually. I just kept training since I'm 8 years old. That's
until
what
right
happened.
now.
Yeah, never stopped.
Yeah. Okay. In the very beginning, what kind of, let's say, style or martial arts you used to practice, and how it goes until right now?
Okay, so when I grew up in Switzerland. So in Switzerland, it was like judo for every kid. It's just like taekwondo in China, right? You know, it's like all the kids, they go to judo. So yeah, that's what I did. And then when I was a teenager, I think I wanted to learn like different styles. So I started to go left and right because I wanted just to learn more. Yeah. But yeah, I started with judo basically.
And right now you also competed with judo, or you also doing some MMA fighting?
No.
You are a
Like,
fighter, so what kind of fighting you are into?
okay, so I do MMA.
Mm-hmm.
So I fight I compete in professional MMA.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, I tried a lot of different styles. So because I learned judo as a kid, then I switched to wrestling. I learned kickboxing. Then I went to China, so I learned like traditional martial arts there. And I also competed in sanda. So I did a lot of sanda when I was in China. Yeah, I moved to Taiwan as well, and in Taiwan I did a lot of sanda as well, and then gradually I took on MMA. So yeah, like switching to MMA was really straightforward because I had this wrestling background, like judo and wrestling, and then sanda. So it made it really easy to transition to MMA. And
You
yeah,
mean the sanda is like somehow like Chinese style standing combating?
yes,
From
because
sanda. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So I learned sanda when I was in China, and like with my judo and wrestling background, and then so sanda came in really easy, and then like I needed to get better on the ground, so I did some Brazilian jiu-jitsu as well. And then I combined everything together, and just transitioning to MMA was really smooth. Yeah. So yeah, I did a lot of traditional martial arts when I was in China too, you know. And what I liked about the traditional martial arts was like there's no like everything that works, you can just use it, you know. It's like when I grew up in Switzerland, there's a lot of Japanese martial arts where it's like judo is just throws, and there's ground game, and then you have like karate, what like just stand-up fighting. Like, but when I went to China doing traditional martial arts, they basically you can do everything, everything that works, you know, you just use it. So when I went to China doing like traditional martial arts, it kind of removed the boundaries I had, and that's how it opened my mind. And I kept on learning from people like in different styles, and then and that's how I ended up doing MMA finally. Yeah.
Cool. So you mentioned you are shifting from judo and then some Chinese style martial arts, traditional one or combating one, and now you are a MMA fighter. So now you are fighting often or just sometimes? And if because if you're fighting in reality, no matter street fighting or on the stage, maybe you will get injured sometimes. If you get injured, how you overcome the down time?
Okay, so I have a job obviously, so I compete in professional MMA fighting, but I can't make a living out of MMA obviously, so I have a job and I train as much as I can with my job, and so I don't have many fights. Because first of all, it's not easy to get fights. Like you need that's what people don't know. It's like it's because MMA, professional MMA is between sports and show business. So it's not that easy to get fights. And also like every time you get a fight opportunity, you have to see if you can like get enough training. So it's like I compete in MMA, but I wouldn't call myself like a professional fighter because I don't live from that. And then injuries is like in any competitive sports, you have risks of injuries.
Sure.
Like if you do wrestling or judo or kickboxing, whatever, you have the risk of injuries the whole time, So the thing is, you have to train smart. And then when you fight, then of course there's a risk of injury, but most injuries they occur in training. So like train smart is the key actually. If you want to have a longevity in the sport, you need to train smart. Yeah. So
what does it exactly mean training smart?
Okay, training
and
smart.
How you, for example, how you practically training in your daily life?
Okay, so I train twice a day. So depending on if I have a fight or not, but I always train twice a day. So let's say depend on my schedule. For example, I would have like some training at noon, and then in the evening, or sometimes in morning and afternoon, sometimes morning, evening. But I try to train twice a day. So basically what you have to do is you have to do strength and conditioning, and you have to do like just training on the mat, so your skills. So sometimes you do like 2 skills training, or sometimes it's just one strength and conditioning, one training, one skill training. But training smart means, first of all, like you have to have the right training partners. Yeah, so like you have to train with people you can trust, that are not going to try to injure you, and then you have to, when you're tired, like you shouldn't do like too much sparring. You should rather just do I don't know, just cardio or weights when you're too tired. So that's the thing. You have to always be listen to yourself, like if I'm tired, and also pick the right training partners. That's how you train smart. Yeah.
Cool. And you mentioned that your daily training, it depends on you will have a fight on the stage or not. So for example, you will get a fighting opportunity in the coming months, or let's say next month. So how you make the intensive training to be totally and completely ready for your fight?
Okay, so for me, like with experience, I know like the level of shape I have to get in to be sure that I can do like 3 rounds of 5 minutes. So like I have my routine. Like it's like an assessment. Like for example, when I do interval, like I run, I do sprints, I do intervals, and I know like in how much time I should run, like at a certain speed or for how long, then I know if I'm ready or not. So because when you don't have a fight, actually like doing like cardio and it's it's kind of hard, it's kind of painful. And when you don't have a fight, you want to rather just train more skills. But when you have a fight, then you have to do a lot of cardio to be ready. And for me, I know like for example, I would run like 800 meters or like 400 meters. I don't know, I know like how much time to run the track, to run the distance, how many times. If I can do it within that time frame and that many times, I know I'm ready. So that's what I do. Like I use this kind of an interval like training, like those runs to test my readiness, my fitness. Yeah, but this is really hard. It's like I really don't like to do it. Like I like just like go like running like in the forest, like easy runs. I love that. But like those like sprints, interval sprints, it's really hard. It's really taxing on the body. It makes you really tired. Yeah. But if you can do it, then you're ready. That's yeah.
So the moment when you were on the stage, you fight. Have you ever have some like tipping moment, the tipping point that if you can overcome, you will win. If you cannot overcome, you will lose. So how you push yourself to overcome the tipping point? Like we are running. Sometimes for example, we run 10 kilometers. The moment maybe happened on 7 or 8 kilometers. We barely cannot run anymore. We feel so tired and maybe our breathing getting disturbed. And how you overcome this?
Okay, so during the fight, it's easy to overcome because MMA is like if you give up, the guy is gonna beat you. Because like the thing is in MMA is like when you get hit, like or when you can't breathe, it's like if you stop defending yourself, the guy is gonna smash you, So it's survival, basically. It's just basic survival. You have to fight until it's over. Yeah. So this is how you actually in the cage is easy because it's just survival. It's just survival instinct. But in training, sometimes you're just tired. You don't want to do it anymore. And the only motivation you can get is from your teammates. They try to push you. Or like you have to know that the other guy is training maybe harder than you. So you have to push. You have to push. And like if you push during training, you get that mental toughness, and that allows you to perform in the fight. Like it's never over until it's over, basically.
Sure.
Yeah.
So now that you are training daily, twice a day, and what is your next fighting? Do you have any information to share?
No, I don't have any dates right now. Yeah, not yet. I really like that period when I just had a fight and I don't have a fight planned because I can really focus on my skills. Because when you get a fight, you only focus on your opponent. Like you only focus on beating his style. Like if he's a good striker, then you have to take him down. If he's good on the ground, you have to block his submissions. If he's good wrestler, you have to just work on your takedown defense. It's like you always focus on your opponent when you have a fight, and then you focus on strength and conditioning. But when you don't have a fight, this is what I prefer because I can really, really focus on my skills, like improving what I need to improve, training what I need to train. So yeah, I really enjoy that period when I just don't have a fight. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So when as you are a fighter, so how you balance that? Okay, on one side, you must encourage yourself and empower yourself to trigger your point to fight. But in daily life, we must stay peace to deal with so many social life and so many different situations. How you make the balance? Or have you ever had like you overact? For example, when you are in daily life, or somebody that disrespected you, or you find something quite unfair, and how you will act and how you balance your emotion and your feeling.
Okay, so I think it's different for everybody, but for me, like, I'm really a nice guy. Like, I'm really like peaceful guy. I never look for trouble. Yeah, everybody knows that I'm just a friendly kind guy, And so for me, like, fighting is actually, when I go fighting, I have to do a mental preparation to switch to a different personality, because for me it's really hard it's harder for me to go fight somebody I don't know. Like and that has not done anything to me. So for me it's the opposite. It's harder for me to fight than to not fight, because it's just not my personality, Yeah, and I train since I'm a kid, like so I just grew up like doing that. So for me it's just my way of living. It's just a sport, it's just a competition. So actually for me it's like I have to do a mental preparation to fight. It's not the opposite.
Yeah, so you are in quite a unique way, because for many people, when they are a good fighter, I mean they need to do mental cooperation after fighting to calm down.
No, it's not my,
right? Okay. Yeah.
Me is the opposite. I have to do preparation to get
to
angry.
encourage you, to motivate yourself to fight. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Yeah. I used to have some friends and students, they have ADHD, the symptoms. So, if anything will trigger their temper, and it will be a chaos.
I see.
That's why some of them, they came to train to fight the calmness, to fight the peace in training. So for many of them, they have big power, they have muscle and strength, but they are quite a lack of flexibility.
I see.
You have great strength. Yeah. Okay. So now what do you do beyond your training as a martial artist, as a fighter? So what kind of job you are working on?
I'm a researcher, so I work at the university. So I work in a lab. I just do research and write papers and stuff like that. So yeah, I do experiments all day. I like this job because it gives me flexibility, because I work alone, and I do meetings every once in a while. So I like it because I can train. I have like flexible schedule as long as I do my work. I can come, like, for example, if I need to sleep more because I'm tired, I can sleep more and come later in the morning. Then I will stay a little bit later at night. Or if I need to go at noon to train, I can go. So I don't really need to clock in and out. So that's a good job for fighting. And yeah, like I know some guys who have like really hard jobs. They have like they it's like labor jobs, when you get tired from working all day and then you go training at night, it's really hard. Yeah. So for me, it's not the case. My job is I mean, I do experiments in the lab or I write on the computer. So yeah.
Cool. And you see, do you have some like impressive fighter whom you are looking up to, or do you have any like what is your something you're good at? You mentioned the judo, jiu-jitsu, some sanda or traditional martial arts.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
For me, it's like
your
wrestling.
character? I mean,
yeah, for me, it's wrestling because like I said, like I learned judo as a kid, and then I switched to wrestling, and so and even when I was doing sanda in China, I was doing more wrestling, and also like I learned like tuisho or tai chi chuan and tuisho, and so wrestling is really my fighting style, and usually I'm the better wrestler when I fight. Yeah, so like yeah, wrestling is my style, but I like to I really like sanda because you mix up like the kickboxing and the wrestling really well. So that's the style I really like. Yeah.
So when you were in China, what impressed you a lot? On the other hand, what you feel kind of weird?
Okay, so I lived in China, so I wanted to learn traditional martial arts. So I went to Shaolin Si, Wudangshan, and I learned like Chenshi Tai Chi Chuan and Tuisho and Sanda, everything. So I learned Yongchun Chuan as well. I went to Foshan. What impressed me in China was like I met like many masters who were like really, really skilled, like amazing skills. Like you wouldn't believe how good they were. But the thing is, the thing I didn't like is like in China, there's no standard. You have like masters that are excellent, but you have like also masters that don't know anything, So it's like there's no standard. So it's really hard to find, like because and it's all based on reputation. So there's no championship, there's no tournament. Like for example, if you're like a wrestling you have wrestling champion of like can be a state champion, national champion, like European champion or whatever. That shows your level. But in Chinese traditional martial arts, there's no such thing. So you never know if the guy is good or not, and like some of the masters, they don't even spar with the students, they just show some moves. And I was lucky. So my master was like was young for the Tai Chi Chuan, and he was like really good in Tuisho, amazing. So I learned a lot from him. But the thing that I don't like in China was like there's this kind of rule where the shifu is like when you get close to his level, he's kind of scared of teaching you because he doesn't want you to get better than him, kind of. So he kind of stops sparring with you, because he's like, if I give him too much, he's gonna be better than me, So that's the thing I didn't like about China. Is they have this is why it's like idai buru idai, like the next generation is not as good as the previous generation because like the masters, they are scared of like passing on all the knowledge. And this is like if you look at like sports, it's the opposite. Like the students should be better than you, like if you go wrestling or boxing or judo or whatever, the athletes is always better than the coach. That's how it should be. Yeah, that's how you make champions. Because and the sport evolves. The level is higher today than it was yesterday, because people keep getting better. So this is the thing I didn't like about traditional martial arts in China is like the shifu is like that high, and he doesn't want to have like anybody better than him. And so yeah, that's the thing that I think it is wrong. It's like The shifu is a shifu because he's your teacher, you know. So you always pay him respect as a teacher, like he gives you knowledge, but you should be like better than him in when competing against him. You should be better, right? That's how it should be, right? So, but in China, somehow like the traditional martial arts is like you can never beat the shifu, which is it's so weird, you know. And but in Sanda it's not the case. Like Sanda is like really like it's like a sport, right? But if you go to traditional martial arts, they have this kind of this problem. And then you have a lot of Mingshi, you know, like very famous masters, but you cannot find any of the sparring videos, you know, because they don't dare to do any sparring or any like fighting, or because they don't want to look bad, you know. And this is the issue I have. Like that's the thing I like better with like for example, like the Japanese, they do it well in the sensei, you know, is you always respect him, but when you do sparring with him, you can beat him. It's fine. It's no problem, you know. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, thank you for you sharing your very clear vision and experience with us. And this is the big problem you said. And yeah, it's something we should change, of course. And as we shared, that the generation after generation, we should keep what? So, you know, in traditional martial arts, we call the shifu, the teacher and father, right? If you are really a teacher and a father, you should expect that your son, your daughter is beyond than you, but through you, right?
Exactly.
You will get extremely happy if they are better than you. Not, you know, worried about that if they will be better than you and you will lose the job and you will have that, this and that. This is exactly that what a shifu means. If you are really a shifu, a teacher and father, or teacher and mother, this is what you should. I mean, the generosity and the open mind we should have, right? To kick out our ego and
exactly. So that's like in China, I've like amazing masters I met, like crazy good. They were like crazy good, like unbelievable, like in movies, you know. But there is this thing, they teach you and then you start getting good, and then they're like, they kind of stop teaching you. And this is
I remember clearly when me and some of my students, we joined the tournaments, the competition, and my students getting better result, higher. I think they win prize first prize, and I win second or third. And the journalist the reporter came to me, and they report my team, and also they asked me, how do you feel that your students is getting better result than you? I said, look, do you have children? You have a daughter or son? And he said, I have. I said, how do you feel if your daughter and son better than you?
Yes, exactly.
He said, okay, I take my question back.
That's the best answer you could give. That's the best answer. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, okay. And the last question is, as a fighter, you're doing MMA. Now there is a big argument in China. So many people, they say, okay, the traditional martial arts is like BS. You know, it's nothing. Some people say that, okay, the traditional martial arts, it's very important for the modern wushu, for the MMA fighting. How do you think about this?
No, I think like if you do traditional martial arts, you can do MMA as well, but you don't need traditional martial arts to do MMA. You don't need it. But if you do it, you can also switch to MMA, but you don't need traditional martial arts to do MMA. Because like like I said, like traditional martial arts for me is more like, it's kind of it's like a gong yi, you know?
It's like non-profit.
No, Gong Yi is like how do you say that?
It's universal principle. What?
No. It's like for example, when you have like a chahu, like a teapot, like you can have a master make a teapot, right? Really beautiful teapot.
Okay, like
yeah.
That's
it's like craft.
The processing of making.
Yeah, it's like but then you can also buy a teapot at the supermarket.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's somehow you mean it's like the cherry on the cake.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is like basically like you go to a supermarket, you have like teapots. You can buy as many as possible, but it's like what I'm saying is like one is the industry. Like MMA is more industry. It's like MMA is easy. Like take some wrestling, some kickboxing, some ground game, and then you can go fight. Like MMA, you start from zero. You learn a little bit. Like in 2-3 years, you can fight. But like traditional martial arts is like it's a whole process. Like I said, like
whole process.
Yeah, it's you get different results depending on the master. So like depending on the master, you can get like a totally different version. So I think you can do MMA if you do traditional martial arts, but you don't need traditional martial arts to do MMA.
Okay.
Yeah, because MMA is already like how do you say it evolved. Like traditional martial arts is like kind of very old MMA. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like very old MMA, and MMA now is like very well developed. Well developed. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, cool. So the last one is, what does martial arts mean to you? Or what does fighting mean to you?
Okay. Like for me, it's just a way of life. Like I grew up like doing this, and I think it shaped my character. It's just part of who I am right now. It's just a way of life. And I think it teaches you like mental toughness. That's the first thing. And then it's like it teaches you like principles, like it teaches you like friendship, respect, like being humble, like caring for each other, and then it's just a way of life. Yeah, it's a great way to educate kids, I think. Yeah.
Okay. And thank you so much, Emmanuel飘零, to share with us your great story as a martial artist, as a fighter, and little story about your job. And for anyone who are watching us, that if you are looking up for some fighting techniques, some MMA skills, also some traditional Chinese martial arts, Sanda, welcome to reach out Emmanuel and to get some training and also to have some fun together. And once again, thank you for your wonderful story. I'm looking forward to see you. Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening.